Just a quick one, guys, before we get into today's video. We have just released our July drop. We've got the brand new Rangers Warrior t-shirts, along with the No One Likes Us, We Don't Care tees. Do browse the new collection by going down into the link in the description, or going to rfcclothing.com. Anyway, let's get into today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, guys. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Guys, we've got a goal. We're trying to get to 25,000 subscribers before the end of the summer transfer window. So if you haven't already hit the big red button, please consider doing so. And in return, we'll keep you on the straight of narrow with everything in regards to Rangers Football Club this summer. Guys, in today's video, we're going to be discussing why Rangers have been sparked into immediate negotiations surrounding one of our players, as an offer has been submitted by a club. We're also going to be kind of giving you the transfer state of play, discussing Jose Cifuentes, and going through the latest surrounding Malik Tillman and Bassey. So starting with the sort of transfer roundup, and it has been kind of quiet over the last couple of days with regards to Rangers transfer news in the form of incomings. At the moment, as I said, Cyril Dessers is a done deal, and he will be announced in due course, or by the time you're watching this video, he may have already been announced. Who knows? It will happen either today or tomorrow, or at least before the end of the week at the latest. After that, Rangers' sort of attention is going to be on Jonathan Panzo, who they're trying to acquire his services whilst he's playing down there at Nottingham Forest. And as I say, Rangers fairly confident that they'll get a deal done. Fabrizio Romano provided some positive news with regard to that recently, as well as that one is moving along nicely. Then, of course, Rangers are still interested in Danilo. They're also trying to work on a deal for Jose Cifuentes still. But yeah, Cifuentes is still sort of taking its time, as he was involved in the LA derby yesterday, the sort of El Trafico. As I said, he did start on the bench, but did come on in the second half. So as I said, still playing for LAFC, as this sort of transfer is kind of slowing down. As I said, the latest we have for you on sort of Jose Cifuentes is that he has agreed terms of Rangers. He will be joining, and he will be a Rangers player at least by the winter. But as I said, the priority really is to try and strike a deal with LAFC, but they're in no rush to sell. They don't care about losing him on a free, unless they will only let him go this summer if a fee that is worth to them while is met. So that one is going to drag on for a little while. And then the club's sort of attention, as we spoke about multiple times, is to offload some players. Get rid of the dead wood, trim the fat, so to speak. And just over the last couple of days now, we're starting to hear stuff emerge. A lot of Saudi reports, which we'll touch upon very soon. But there has been an official offer made for one of our players. However, there is a caveat towards it. The offer is for Glenn Kamara. Now, Glenn Kamara is a player that was high in stock this time sort of last year. It was expected that he'd probably go out the door as well. And at the time, he was sort of touted for a sort of £10 million move, if you like. I think there was reports that there were bids made by Nice and other French clubs that were interested, that submitted a bid in that sort of region, but Rangers stood firm and didn't sell the player. And well, he did have kind of a bit of a drop-off this season, all the way until sort of Christmas under Van Bronckhorst. Wasn't really involved, and then under Michael Beale, and it just kind of seemed that his sort of Rangers career is fizzling out, but at the same time his price is also dropping. Now, the reports are coming out of Turkey that Besiktas have submitted a deal for the player, but it is a loan offer and not a permanent buy. At the time of recording, I don't know if Rangers have accepted it. I don't think they would accept such an offer, but unless there was a sort of obligation to buy Glenn Kamara come the end of the loan contract. But from my understanding, I do think Glenn Kamara is not up for sale officially, but Rangers would listen to offers, and if a decent offer comes in the door, then he'll be gone. But I don't think on a loan deal to Besiktas is going to be accepted, except if there was a sort of obligation to buy. come the end of his sort of loan period with Besiktas. But that's the latest with regards to Glenn Kamara. Reports in Turkey state that Besiktas are interested and have submitted an offer to Rangers for a loan for the Finnish international. It is an interesting one with him. I do think, well, we can always look in hindsight and say Rangers sort of should have cashed in on him last year. We could have said Rangers should have cashed on Alfredo Morelos back in sort of 2020, but we didn't. But he's one of those sort of players that I do think can command a fee of £5 million, and he's a player that, you know, I could see leave the football club this summer, but certainly not on a loan deal, in my opinion. Now, moving on to some other stuff as well, I need to sort of update you guys. I think I said in a recent video, which I hold my hands up, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I got it wrong, and that was with regards to Calvin Bassey. It's actually being reported that Rangers actually don't have 10% sell-on fee on his thing, but they do have a 10% sell-on clause for profit only. So if Ajax were to have made a lot of profit on the player, say if Bassey went to Ajax and then was sold for £50 million, then the profit that they had made on him, which would have been £30 million if he had sold for £50 million, then Rangers would have made sort of £3 million from the profit. But it does look like talks or things are escalating with his move to sort of Brighton. However, there is no profit going to be there, so Rangers will probably likely get hee-haw from that deal. So yeah, quite annoying, but yeah, hopefully he stays at Ajax now and has a fantastic campaign. But it does look like Brighton are actually closing in on the player very soon. Also, reports are stating that Brighton are also close to acquiring, not close, but close-ish to acquiring, or interest stepping up their pursuit, should I say, for Malik Tillman. Of course, Malik Tillman on loan at Rangers last year, and buying that debacle sort of got Rangers some £1 million compensation for them cancelling the buyout option, and then, of course, have a 10% sort of, get 10% of the fee that Bayern get when selling Malik Tillman this summer. Reports are stating that Bayern are expecting a deal of up to £15 million for Tillman, and as I said, are willing to listen to offers. And it is said again, Brighton are stepping up their pursuit. No offers made, or it's not that far down the line, but stepping up their sort of interest and stepping up the pursuit. So Bassey and Malik Tillman could be playing for one of the brightest teams in the Premier League, with Brighton in the Europa League. So there could be those two coming back to Ibrox in some weird fashion if we somehow fall into the Europa League or go far in the Europa League knockout stages. So yeah, interesting stuff there. But yeah, pretty quiet day overall, to be perfectly honest with you. Just a lot of stuff with regards to sort of outgoings, kind of just waiting for Cyril Dessers to be announced, waiting for Jose Cifuentes to go through, waiting for other things. There's no more sort of updates with regards to the Saudi stuff. Obviously, James Tavernier emerged on a shortlist to go to Al Ettifaq, and then of course there were sort of phony reports, in my opinion, but other publicists are sort of saying that they were true. But Scott Wright to Saudi Arabia for £4 million. I'm not going to touch upon that. I don't think there's any truth in that whatsoever, but if it does for whatever reason sort of emerge that there is, then I'm sure we will discuss it here on today's channel. But Rangers fans, do let me know your thoughts on Glenn Kamara and the offer been made for him, and how much realistically do you think Rangers can command for his services this summer? As I said, let me know a fee down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember, we do have Rangers t-shirts available on our website, so do browse the collection by going down into the link in the description or go to rfcclothing.com. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.